scheduled council meeting for the mayor and council for February 25th, 2026. Thank you. If you would all rise for the Lord's Prayer.
Let us pray the Lord's Prayer together. Our Father,
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
Amen. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, we will go through our agenda, and we will start with the approval of minutes.
Yes, good evening, Madam Chair. We do have before us tonight two sets of minutes. One dated February 11th, which was a public hearing at 5:30, and the second was a regular mayor council session, which is also dated February 11th. I move that we accept these minutes that are presented. If there are any corrections, let us do so. Mr. Turner.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you very much. Okay, next up was going to be our ferry update. I've spoken with Clint Sterling, and unfortunately he has another commitment. He can't be here tonight, but he will be here at the next meeting just to let us know that the project's still alive. So we're going to continue on with our agenda, and we're excited to have Mr. Shishler with us from the marina and to talk about our tide gates. And Ms. Charbonneau, I hear, is also with us. So they're going to be on Zoom this evening. Let's see.
Yes, I'm here, Mayor. This is Kate Charbonneau, Assistant Secretary for Maryland DNR.
And we're honored. Thank you so much for being here today. And I know Mr. Shishler, was he going to be in the room?
I thought he was coming.
I'm not sure if he was going to make it, but I think I have the information you're looking for, if that's okay.
Oh, it is absolutely okay. Yes. We absolutely appreciate you coming to give us some updates on where we are.
Yes, great. I'm pleased to be here tonight. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council members. Again, for the record, Kate Charbonneau, Assistant Secretary for Maryland DNR. Just for a quick update on our Summers Cove Marina project, again, we're doing the replacement of the bulkhead, replacement of piers, and most importantly for the city, we're installing check valves in the 8 drainage pipes running under the marina, which obviously are contributing to some flooding within the city. So we currently have that project out. We're accepting bids. I think bids are due March 6th. And from there, we're going to have to work through some DGS procurement concerns, but obviously, our intent is to get the project moving as quickly as we can. Our hope, once we have a contractor on board and can work through the schedule, is that we'll be starting construction late spring, early summer. And then I think our engineering construction team is very intent on trying to move the project as quickly as we can, potentially about a 12-month timeline. The latest update I got from engineering and construction is while it'll depend on the contractor selected and how they want to stage everything, it's likely it'll be towards the end of the project, so maybe towards the end of this calendar year, we'll be getting towards that check valve installation component. But again, we'll know more about that schedule once we have the contractor selected and on board and we work through that schedule.
Fantastic. I mean, that is for us wonderful news. I know that in speaking to you, Kate, and the secretary some time ago, that you guys made that commitment. And that was going to work in conjunction with the other work that we were doing. And it still will be a major boost to us to have those repairs made on those devices that we know have not been working for some time, many years.
Right.
Yeah, so this is a big deal for us. We have been looking forward to it. We just want to make sure that we are a part of that team, and so that if there's any questions in terms of making sure that we have all the easements or any kind of paperwork that we need. And so
Okay.
I do believe we have someone on the team. Jennifer, do you know who that is? On the Marina project team.
That we have someone on the marina, you mean that we have people from the marina participating in the,
I will connect
mitigation?
our engineering
Mhm.
and construction staff directly with you, Mayor.
Mhm.
Kelly Wright will be working on that project and shepherding through. That way you have his information direct. He can help set up and establish that relationship with the contractor once they're selected, so there's good communication all around.
Yeah, that would be
So we'll make
perfect.
that connection.
That would be perfect. I think what Jennifer was alluding to is that we have a partnership meeting, and I think they're participating in that. Is that right?
yes, they are always invited to participate in that.
Yes.
I didn't know if it was appropriate to ask how this may impact the clam bake.
I don't know what the schedule is, but yes, we definitely will just make sure that we understand how all of that works together. I think that's actually a Chamber of Commerce function. But yeah, so then we'll work together to see how all of that fits.
Yes, so, once we have that contractor selected and they'll be working out the construction area, I know the team has been looking at, the location over, where there's some staging for the city dock right now, and where they also put up the fireworks, I forget exactly what they call that area. So
Where
there
is
might
it?
be,
Jersey
you might have.
Jersey
yes.
Island. Jersey
Yes,
Island
over there.
as alternates, as potential alternates. Okay,
Is a potential alternate site, so, once we have that information more clear, I'll be coming on down and I hope to meet with your Chamber of Commerce so we can work through that specifically on how those functions would work, through this year. But again, we're really looking forward to just trying to get this project done and as quickly as we can so that, we can get the marina up to, not only operating, but also looking, much better than it had and functioning really well.
fantastic. And I do know that this project was at one particular point part of the match for us for the Southern Crisco Flood Mitigation Project. And so we're hoping that there still be components of that we can use as match as we're looking at doing that project in phases and
Yes.
putting it together in different parts. So this is huge for us, and we'll connect with you and make sure we understand which parts can still integrate with our project and help us as a match. I know the secretary has sent a letter when we first requested it and said that would be available for us for match. So we thank you
And our
guys.
intention is to continue with that commitment.
Fantastic. And just for the record, the president of the Chamber of Commerce is also on the council, so he'll make sure that connections get made as well.
Great, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, I think the committee for the clam bake has been talking with Mary Taylor and Tom.
Yes, great.
Fantastic. So we appreciate you taking the time out to come and visit our council meeting and to share that information with us. It definitely helps us a lot in our planning, to make sure we understand what's happening all around us. So this is a big deal and we are grateful. I'm gonna ask council if they have questions. We'll go around.
Yes, this does pertain to this project, but it pertains to the marina as a whole. So last year, the House and the Senate passed a law changing the Marina Commission to be state-ran authority. How are they going to play into the selection process? And I know a few of them have reached out to me and said that they're kind of confused with how this is working currently because they've not been contacted recently about having a meeting and they don't know who to go
Okay.
to and all.
Right, I will get right on that and make those contacts. I know we have the recommended names. I will admit it's been a little bit, dealing with some day-to-day operations. I've been a little bit slow and remiss on that part. We've also lost our fisheries director, or she's retired, so I'm working on replacing that. But I will make sure that we connect with them as soon as possible. I think our next stage, getting this plan underway is to be working on sort of a long-term marina sustainability plan, and we want to make sure we have their input. So please let them know I will be in touch very, very soon.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Any other questions?
No, man?
Questions? Questions?
None.
Questions?
No question, but I just want to thank you because when we were together on a critical area, it was about 2 years ago when we approved all this stuff, and it, in the back of mind, it was worrying like, oh my God, 2 years, nothing is happening. but it's good to see there is a progress. So thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
we're very pleased with the progress we've been making and looking forward to getting the project started.
Thank you.
Fantastic. I do know at one particular point, I think, Jason, you were actually involved in looking at different designs.
Yeah, I reviewed the plans on behalf of the city, yes.
Yeah, and we still do have our engineer that we want to make sure does stay lockstep with you guys and, you know, making sure that we get an opportunity to see how things are progressing. So we
Okay,
will,
great.
and I think he knows Kelly, correct?
Yeah, I used to work with Kelly.
Yeah, so I think they'll be able to do that well, so thank you. And then one more, we have Councilman Langford, who's actually on Zoom.
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, looking forward, and again, Ms. Charbonneau, Assistant Secretary Charbonneau, thank you so much for taking the time out today.
It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, all good news coming up. Okay, next we're gonna jump down to Ms. Langle. She's gonna come and talk to us about where we are in the Chrisfield Neighborhood Watch. And she brought cookies, so we appreciate you.
It's before dinner. Just before dinner,
I
right?
love it, thank you.
I really appreciate all of your input on this too, because Neighborhood Watch is new in this area, but it's been fun. We have over 60 members now on
Wow.
Facebook, on the group,
Oh,
and people
wow.
are joining right and left. And one of the things that they're really afraid of is if they see something and they report it. You know, the backwash that could happen, let's say they see somebody shooting, and that has happened in our town. They're asking if they can have numbers. Chief, it's up to you.
What kinds of numbers, what are
They
you
just
talking
want a
about?
number with their information, that if they call it in, they know who the number is. It doesn't necessarily give out their name, so they're not identified,
They don't even need that, if they wanna be anonymous, we don't reveal that at all,
okay?
yeah,
Yeah,
but whatever makes them comfortable.
yeah. Would it go over on the scanner?
Their name?
The
The
911 call?
information, yes.
The
The nine-
911 call?
Yeah,
No,
where it's going out?
absolutely no.
Okay.
If they're anonymous, none of that is relayed or transmitted over the air.
Okay, because then when we're talking about it, we could do blocks, setting up our city, and I don't know how we would do this, organizing it, that we plan. There's like, let's say, over by the high school, maybe there's 5 or 6 blocks in there, and then we go through the town, set it by block, and then we can have a person on each block. Could we possibly do that? Work with you, with the mayor, and with the chief, and see how we can do it. I don't know.
I'm not sure, I'm not sure I completely understand. You're saying that you want to designate blocks and have a person, help me there.
Like a person on each block,
You mean,
like a chairman that can work with the people. If something happens, they don't let the police know, but they let their block know this is happening, stay safe.
so you'd have like a block chairman or something?
Exactly.
You can designate block chairmans, that wouldn't be us.
Just,
Tell
do you
me.
guys wanna know who they are, or?
Oh, yeah, you
Yeah,
could
it'd be
definitely,
nice,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's why I'm asking
absolutely,
both
oh,
of you,
absolutely.
asking, you know,
The
Of the council, I mean.
relationship between you and I is crucial, and that's a wonderful idea, as well as training and education. We'll get out of the road a little bit, maybe having a meeting somewhere where we can talk about our elderly being susceptible to fraud on the internet and everything, do the do's and don'ts, how to prevent burglaries and things like that. There's 100 different things we can do.
I think that would be a great event, you know, especially maybe in the spring, summer, or fall,
Absolutely.
as it starts warming up. Because we are talking about too, we also have fire hydrants. And our big thing is, I'm through generations, my father was an active firefighter, my husband and our son. So, for us, we look at those fire hydrants, you can't see them, they're like blend in. If we could have them a fluorescent color, so they're easily accessed. I don't care, blue, green, yellow, orange, whatever. You can easily see them, you can easily hook up to them. And if we could have people that would volunteer to clean around them. And I don't know.
Are you suggesting that you guys might want to take some of
Well,
that
maybe
on?
Neighborhood Watch could. Maybe,
Okay.
once we grow, maybe somebody will volunteer once in a while
Yeah.
to clean up around them, make sure that they're easily accessed. Number one, our insurance rates are lower when we have a fire hydrant near us. And that's what ours tells us.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Uh-huh. Do you have access to a fire hydrant? Is it near your house? Yes.
I need to get one put near my house while I'm here. Okay.
I love it, I love it. Okay, and at one time, I don't know, city council, did you bring up about, what do you call those things that are on the road, the bump things, what are they called?
Oh, speed bumps.
Speed bumps.
Oh, yeah.
We are in
Oh,
favor,
yeah.
we are in favor,
Yeah.
definitely.
Where are my speed humps, by the way? But okay, yes.
Yes, we are in
The answer
favor,
is
we
yes.
are in favor, because we hear, like, when we hear what somebody racing early in the morning.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's not just that, it would block the water too a little bit, make it a little easier.
Yeah.
Our concern is people who have trailers, who have motor homes going over those speed bumps. Will they be up high enough or low enough to get over them? And I'm all in favor.
Okay, good. I think they're doing them so that that the fire trucks can get around them, so yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
ambulances or whatever that is. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Well, in St. Mary's County, and I don't wanna go off tangent, but they have a part, when I drove the ambulance, that it lowers in one part as you go over them with things. You just have to know where it's at. But it is a speed bump on the
Oh, I
sidewalk.
got you.
Yeah, so you can go over it
But
easily.
emergency agencies know what
We know where to go
Yeah.
and what can go over it.
Okay.
So that might be something you could put out there.
Yeah, I'm sure, I think we've got something ordered, and I'm just waiting for it to get here, so we'll see where that is.
Okay, we did bylaws for our group. We go nonprofit. We have done the mission statement. I have to get that out to you. I gotta get it typed out. The other thing we've done is some events for the future. National Night Out, we wanna do some fundraising. We'd like to give out some lights and different things, you know, some fun stuff. Events that they have planned is they want to do, what's it called? A flea market, where people, if we can go pick up stuff, donate stuff, and then have it where we can auction it off. That'll raise funds.
Okay.
They wanna do a bake sale, they wanna sell some soup maybe when it's so cold out. What else did they wanna do, Mark, do you remember?
And the proceeds will,
It goes to Neighborhood Watch, and we can fund it out to different things if we need to within our community. As we, you know, get grants and things like that, and we go ahead. I have to file the filings to make it a nonprofit, and that's a big, big step that I have to take to get that done, and I'm gonna go for that, and they're gonna help me. We have accepted, who we want for board and who's gonna run,
good.
so.
So you have a president and treasurer and all that, vice
They want me to
president?
be president, George is going to be, Fredley is going to be vice president, Myra, his wife, is going to be secretary treasurer, Mark's gonna do security, I think somebody else was gonna do media, and then we had one other position, yeah.
Good,
So everything's going good, and we're running forward in a good way.
fantastic.
that's
So you
it.
said about 60, so that should be good representation of the neighborhood.
It is, and I got a lot of feedback with this last storm. A lot of good feedback, and I did, of course, we always get a little negative, and it's people that are worrying, but, those lights that I gave you guys, I thought some of the housing down there, they were saying they didn't have lights.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there you go, that's $5, you know, stick them up, and they're a remote, and they turn them on. Yeah,
And they're wireless, you said?
they're wireless, yeah, they're battery operated, and
Okay.
they say LED, I don't know if they can be recharged.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, those are types of things that maybe we can figure out how to stockpile at some point, like towards the winter, so that we have those kinds of things available for people when something like this happens. So
We can help
that's
with
good.
Neighborhood Watch too, perhaps maybe fundraising, giving some of those.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what I-
stockpiling.
That's what I want to do for questions.
Yeah, we want to ask to teach people how to camp. This is not the generation that camps, you know, coming up. We're gonna have to somewhere show them how, this is a tent, you can put it in your living room, you can put a sleep bag in there, you know, you keep warm, you've got battery lights, you know, show them how to do it, how to stay warm.
I love it.
Yeah, that's where we're at, Neighborhood Watch.
Fantastic. Sounds like you guys are moving along well. I'm definitely happy to hear that. I'd love to see you guys get some logos and decals and all that kind of stuff, so people will know where, you know, that our community has Neighborhood Watch.
I forgot this. We are making a sign, but I had got with Highway Patrol, or not Highway Patrol, but Highway Maintenance. They have to figure out where we can put it, how big the dimensions are, what it can be. And it's gonna say Chrisfield Neighborhood Watch. It's gonna be a crab, and he's gonna have a flight hat on with goggles, so he can see.
Okay.
So we'll stay with the crab theme.
Okay.
But we need to know, you know, Mayor, where we can put them within the city and where you guys would like them.
Okay. Yeah,
So
we can
maybe we're
figure it out.
thinking 3.
Brian will help us figure out where to put them?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so with their approval and the city's approval, we go forward with it. Okay, that's where we're at.
Fantastic. Oh, questions?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. We'll start there. Here. No questions? Questions?
No, just thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
absolutely.
you guys.
I just love it. Community's doing it. That means we don't have to. Go ahead.
I like these. Now, is this something that you would give at, like you said, National Night Out? You want
We
to give us
could,
some
we could
giveaways?
get
That
started.
people that you want people to donate them? If they, or would your group buy them and pass them out?
If we
or-
can get some grants and get some fundraising going, we can get some dollars. And by the way, I have a banking background, so money's gonna be very, very safe. And
Okay.
there's gonna be all kinds of checks and balances.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay.
We would like to if we can,
Okay.
and we're thinking like the flashlights that go on their keychains or something else,
Okay.
maybe some t-shirts, I don't know. We haven't got that far yet, but yeah, we did talk about lights.
And the 61 members, are they all over the area, in the
They're
community?
Crystal.
They are
The entire
within city
community,
limits?
okay.
Yeah, they're over
Okay.
60. I think yet today we had 66 total.
Okay.
Okay, because I know like in other communities where they have like neighborhood watch, like what you're just saying, sometimes it's a member of the committee, but that person is getting, that sign says neighborhood watch. That means if you go in that area, the sign lets you know that somebody in the neighborhood is watching you. Is that what you're talking about, those types?
Well, neighborhood watch, yeah, we're gonna
Yeah, you
watch
said
what's
on the
going on and
highway, but
see
are you
and-
gonna do it to the communities?
Oh, she's one where we can put the signs. Is that what you're
I
talking about?
would
The
like
signs?
it you come in town, and maybe down by the marina, maybe another place in town, but maybe three or four places, wherever you guys think is the best areas to have it. But it's not we're watching or spying, it's if you see something that's bad, do something. I mean, my neighbors tend to sit in the sand and hide their heads until there's something really bad. I mean, I've gotten up at night, and gone to use the restroom, excuse me, but we've caught people, trying to get in cars, and we've just simply yelled, "Get out of there," and they've taken off. It's like better than having the cops all come out and look for them and everything else, but they've left, and we've caught 4 different times that.
Oh, wow.
So they do come up from downtown, I think, around, and they do. One lady was going to work one morning, she put that on Neighborhood Watch, that she saw a guy, and he came into our yard, and I yelled, and he left.
Oh, wow.
So he hasn't been back.
Good.
But yeah, those are the kind of things.
And I
you
hope
wanna
you did
deter.
report that to the chief,
No,
because,
because it's like, just get them out of there, get them away from me, get them out of town,
Right.
or would you like me to call you?
yeah, I think, yes, we would like to know, because then he can keep an eye out. So, they may, if they don't go to you, they may go somewhere else. But at
Okay.
least if he knows there's someone in the neighborhood that's doing that, he can kind of be on the lookout and have our guys looking out, so
Well, what
please.
I looked at is a square perimeter, now you guys know I'm on Myrtle Street.
Mhm.
So there's, what is it, Maryland Avenue, and then Potomac here, and then the high school, and then there's Columbia, there's been some theft in that area. I mean, it's like a block they're coming into, so they've gotta know that block. And this is strange, but you see Columbia Avenue, we've had problems on Patuxent, or Potomac, and we've had problems on Myrtle. So why is it that center? I'm not sure it's down to Main Street too.
Yeah, definitely make sure the chief is aware.
Yeah.
Seems like somebody that lives in that area.
It sounds like it, or they're watching, or they see you walking by, yeah.
That leads me to one of my questions, what I was saying, like if I live on Pine Street, and just like you said, you're having that problem, but if there's a sign that says neighborhood watch, community, that people in that area would know, hey, somebody's watching me, that's what I meant.
Generally, that works pretty
Yeah.
good in large
Yeah.
neighborhoods and communities.
Yeah.
Yeah, in large
okay.
cities, because they don't want people watching them, they don't wanna get caught. So a lot of times that will be as a deterrent.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
And so
Are
I
you
think-
thinking about doing that? Yeah.
Right, so what you were saying is that you're looking at 3 signs. I think what she's saying is that, would it be good to have some signs in communities?
Like on
Multiple
Pine Street,
signs,
if
like
I
a
wanted
sign
to
in
be a
the
cat
They
community.
have, I'll have to look into where to find it,
Yeah.
but they used to have the old metal signs. There
Yeah,
is one down at the end of the block. One of the
Okay.
ladies has one, so maybe there was neighborhood watching here years ago,
Yeah.
but maybe we can get some other ones.
Just a thought. And
I'm
then,
not trying to give you extra work, but I was just.
No, that's fine, man.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Councilman Patel?
Thank you.
Okay, Councilman Langford, any questions?
No questions, sounds like you're, getting things up and running, so that's great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And Councilman Banks, Vice
I did-
Councilman Banks, go
When
ahead.
you said the membership, is it the people that join the Facebook page,
They
or,
just go on the Facebook page
but
and
that's
just
the
join it.
membership?
They're just joining the Facebook page, sir.
Okay, but I mean, how is the membership?
They just go on under Crisfield Neighborhood Watch and join.
Like,
they're
but I'm
what-
saying those people that are joining the Facebook page are what you consider as the members of,
Neighborhood Watch that want to be part of it, yes.
thank you,
And it's slow in process as far as people making comments.
that's correct.
Yeah, but they're getting there.
Good.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much,
You're
Ms.
welcome.
Langford. Thank you again for the cookies.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're gonna have, Mr. Illuminati, who's gonna give us our second reader tonight for the, Crisfield Employee Handbook.
All right, so this is ordinance 736, an ordinance of the city of Crisfield amending the city of Crisfield employee handbook. So in 2024, the city repealed the old handbook through ordinance number 730, instituted a new one, and over the past 18 months or so, there's been a couple of issues, And so this is a modification to that. So in section 6.6C, that's gonna be amended to insert the wording in capital letters that says department heads receive compensatory time only after the department head has worked at least a half hour beyond the department head's regular workday. Total compensatory time earned includes the first half hour plus any time worked after the first half hour. Awarded comp time must be taken within 30 days of the pay period is awarded or it is forfeited. At the time of separation from employment, any unused comp time will not be paid out. Then in section 9.10B, Romanet 2, it's gonna be amended to delete the wording and strike through and insert the wording in capital letters. So in subsection B, it's gonna say, the following conduct is strictly prohibited and will result in corrective action up to and including termination. Then modifying section 2 of that to read, an employee's purchase, sale, possession, use, manufacture, distribution, or being under the influence of any illegal drug at any time during his or her employment by the city. Cannabis use is also prohibited at any time during employment by the city unless the employee has a valid prescription and the employee is not in a safety-sensitive position. A safety-sensitive position is defined as first responders and those who operate any city machinery. An employee not in a safety-sensitive position with a valid cannabis prescription may not use during working hours or at any time while performing or otherwise conducting city business. So legit, it's circulated to a number of, its municipalities and clients, a document, so all the employees, if this passes, will be asked to complete that document to detail whether they have a valid prescription, and if so, provide the city a copy, so that can remain in the personnel file going forward. So this is just sort of a bring to date on what the best practices have been since the last enactment.
Thank you. And when I look at this document that's got printed, it's got these 3 little dots, but that doesn't mean anything, does it?
All that, so we're not making any changes to section 1, which is you can't have any alcohol while you're on duty, and then there's about another 9 that follow after number 2. So we're just, rather than make this multiple pages, just, we're not making any changes to any of the other sections, we're only including the 2 sections of the code, of the handbook that are being changed.
And that's what the 3 dots mean?
That's what the 3 dots mean.
Okay, all right, I didn't understand that. Okay. All right, council, any questions? Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance number 736.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Motion carried. Thank you very much, Andrew, appreciate that. Let's see. And so I'm gonna pass this around so you guys can go ahead and sign it that are here, and the only one we'll need to get will be Councilman Langford. Okay, so, and then we have Ms. Merritt, who's gonna come and join us and talk to us a little bit about grant funding. So there were several reasons that I asked her to do that, and one of them is because it was really difficult at the last meeting. Once we went through the audit, trying to explain kind of the position of the city. And so I thought that it was really, I thought that one of the things that I'd like to do is to let people understand in terms of, does the city have any funding that they're operating with? And so I think it's important to understand that when we see our audit, a lot of times what an issue is that the timing of when funding comes in has a big impact on the picture that at that particular point in time. And so one of the things that we want everyone to understand is that there is a lot of grant funding that the city does have that we're operating with. So I thought it was important to give that picture as well, so that folks can see we do have funding, but it's just the timing of it that has a different picture when you're looking at the audit. So Jennifer, you want to help us understand that?
Sure, and related to what you're saying, Mayor Taylor, for most of our grants, we have to first spend the money and then request a reimbursement. So that means, although the money is designated to us through a grant, it may not currently be in our account. We may be in that window where we have paid the contractor but not yet received the reimbursement from the granting agency.
And that's the timing of the money coming in, and we have to make that request and then wait for the money to come back into us. So it does affect the picture of what the city has. So we thought it was we would like to show the actual grants that the city currently has open, and so that's what this picture is. And it's kind of small on the screen, Jen, so what I'm gonna ask you to do is to say the name of the grant and then just go across the agency real quick.
Sure.
Even though it's several pages, I think it's important to highlight them. Go ahead.
Okay, so we currently have 3 open grants for the Armory. All are through the Department of Housing and Community Development. Each one's for $250,000. We also have an open contract of $406,000 for the Armory. And we will need more than the available funds, most likely, to put in the HVAC system. So our existing contract is for, to make the building watertight and do mold remediation, which, as you can imagine, is a big project. But they're getting it done.
Right, so for the Armory, we have a total right now in grant funding of
$750,000.
$750,000, okay.
3 grants through DHCD. Low-income housing initiative through DHCD, Department of Housing and Community Development, $75,000. That funding is expended, but we still have some things to wrap up for that project. For business facades, we have an open grant of $75,000 through DHCD. There's $10,000 or approximately 1 business worth of funding remaining, and that program will probably open again this spring. I just realized that we don't have the housing facade listed, so that is $50,000, and that is,
That's one that's not up here right now.
that's not up there, and that
Okay.
will open this spring as well. For the business incubator, that's through the National Park Service, it was through the earmark process, it is $500,000. I also listed the non-financial projects, so that would include Main Street affiliate. For It Takes a Village, which is DHCD, all that funding has been expended, but the grant is not yet closed. That is $800,000. For the Waterman's Park Planning Grant, that's through Chesapeake Bay Trust. It is non-financial in the sense that Chesapeake Bay Trust handles the funding for it.
And the interpretive sign, I think you skipped over that one, Jen.
Oh, I apologize. Interpretive sign, again through DHCD for $10,000. And the request for proposals for that closes in March. Project Restore, $150,000. That funding has been expended, but we still have some items to report on with that grant. Circuit Rider grant. I am happy to say we have Cheryl Hires serving under that grant. She's serving currently for both Princess Anne and Chrisfield. Pre-construction planning of a microgrid, that is Maryland Energy Administration for $125,000. We are working with Optimized Renewables on that grant. For the city dock, we have multiple funding, I think 5 funding sources. So we have an earmark through the U.S. Department of Transportation, specifically the Maritime Administration, that's MARAD, for just over $2 million. We have a loan from the Maryland Department of Emergency Management for $250,000. For the Southeast Pier, we had a total of $160,000. For the Northwest, and that funding has been expended. The majority of that funding has been expended. We have some remaining we can spend on the Central Pier, the Northwest Pier, DNR, $250,000. The Chrisfield Waterfront Development is the bond bill for Senator Perosa for $100,000. Next page, please. For the tide gates and stormwater pumps, we have funding through both MDM and FEMA. MDE. The Maryland Department of Environment funding is $172,000. The FEMA funding is just over $1.2 million. There is a match required of $137,000. You can see under the match column we have $68,973, and that's because that match is 50-50 between the city and the MDE funds. So the MDE funds will cover half of our required match. The match in the column is the funds that will come through the city. We have funding for the Jersey Island wastewater pumping station through MDE with a grant, what they call loan with principal forgiveness, functionally very similar to a grant, for $325,000 and a loan for the same amount. From the Rural Maryland Council for engineering for that project, we have $110,000. For Cove and Rubberset wastewater pumping stations through MDE, we have a grant of 1.5 million and a loan of 2.377 million. For Cove and Rubberset through USDA, we have a loan of just about 1.3 million. We have a stormwater flood improvement plan, that's the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. That's non-financial in that they requested the funds and are using the funds directly to fund their project, so we don't have to handle any of that money.
Well, slow down for a second for me, Jen, because I wanted to make a note here. Jason, you can help me out, because I'm looking for my paper, which I left at, I think I left it at the office. But I wanted to bring council's attention to the Cove and Rubberset USDA loan that we have. That's gonna be changing interest rates, so I want you guys to be aware of it. The amount is not changing, so we don't have to do an approval of that. But right now, we had a loan in that amount for, that was like.
4.5%?
Jason.
2.375.
2.375 was what the original loan was in that same amount. But we are going to, we're gonna de-obligate that loan, correct? And that, with that interest rate.
Yes.
And then USDA has said they will reissue that amount, pretty much, right? For an interest rate of?
1%.
There you go. So we're really excited that we're able to reduce the interest rate on that loan. The original loan of this amount was taken out in 2018, so that was quite a while ago. And we did not use those funds at that particular point in time. So it turns out that we are able to de-obligate that, and then the new loan, because we do need it now, is at that amount of money. So that kind of sums it up, Jason?
Basically, same loan, same amount, less interest.
But I wanted council to be aware of that because I have to write a letter to that effect. So I want you guys to know that we have to agree that we want to take this lower interest loan. Guys there? Okay, all right, just, yeah, my amount doesn't change, but that's something that's gonna happen and I wanted to make you guys aware of it. Okay, Jen, go ahead.
Yeah, so phase one of the Southern Crisfield Flood Mitigation Project is funded by 3 sources. MDE for 1.9 million, which requires a match of 476,500, which comes from the Maryland Department of Emergency Management loan. Sorry, I just got distracted by the fact that some of these numbers are going to be in 2 columns, but I'll
Keep going.
address that when I get there. Okay.
We're good.
So MDE, DNR. I'm sorry, that number is 777,000
As opposed to 804.
as opposed to 804.
Okay, so 770,000 is what we're getting from DNR
And
for
that
our,
does not require a match, yeah.
and that's what we're getting from DNR for our, for the project that we're doing over by Daryl's Ditch,
Right.
right?
And
Okay.
then 135 from the Nature Conservancy for that project as well. So we have a pending resilience loan of approximately 5 million. So if you see that match to the MDE funds of 1.9 million, that comes from the same source. I just want to make sure we don't double count the money.
Right. So the reality of it is, if you guys, I just want to remind you guys where the 4999 was really $5 million loan is what MDM had proposed for us at 0.5%, so that we could match the $36 million that we had. That's how we were doing that match. They were giving us that match at 0.5%. And so now that we're doing the project in phases, we still will need that funding. And so that's kind of why that's on there as pending. We haven't accepted it or anything yet. We haven't gone through the whole process yet. But it's money that we can put, help me Joyce, in an interest-bearing account
Interest-bearing,
so that we
the
could.
entire amount
Yes, and it's 0.5% is what they are requiring for that.
for payback.
For payback, absolutely. So I want you guys to be aware to know what that 4999999 is.
Yeah, they had to stay under 5 million, that's what.
That's what it was.
That's interesting.
Penny.
number.
Yes.
Okay, so the resilience action planning, which we are doing with the University of Maryland Environmental Finance Center, is non-financial in that the funds pass through them. That's NOAA and the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation funding that are passing through them. The HydroNet sensor network and the Maryland Mesonet are the funding passes through the University of Maryland. So again, we don't handle the funding for that.
And I think we probably should put Moonshot Missions on here too, because I'm not
You're
sure where they're funded,
absolutely
but their
right.
funding is not ours,
You're
and we're
right.
not paying them at all, but they are technical, providing technical support, so we'll put them on as non-financial in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah. And the same with the Eastern Shore Regional GIS Cooperative.
Oh,
Actually, they have
absolutely.
rural Maryland council funding, and that's how they're able to assist us.
Yep.
So the Chrisfield Fire Station, the grant will be 1.35. You can see the match is listed in that match source column. I probably should have put it in the notes column. And that is, the amount is accurate, 452,500, but the source is to be determined.
So it should be in the match column. The number should be in the match column, because that's the required match, correct?
It should be in the match column, but it was suggested that the council may want to view this as this total the city was responsible for.
Okay.
Right.
Technically, the earmark's gonna come to the city, right?
Okay.
So technically, it probably should just go in the match column. The
Okay.
reality of it is, we're looking at creative ways to try to do it, and we've had a
Okay.
meeting. We had a meeting with the, with fire department, and we are trying to look at ways to be able to get that done.
Yes.
And I know you put out some feelers to the, funding source and to the, to see what we can do.
I'm working on it. Thanks.
Yep, I saw an email, so.
So that would make our total match about $1 million. Again, I just didn't want to I wanted to make sure that no columns get double counted, because some of those funds are both under loan and match, if that makes sense. So those totals are not additive. They are individual.
I think I get it. But at the end of the day, what we're saying is that, we had $12 million in grants, and we have a budget of $4 million. So the reality of it is, we do have a lot of grant funding that the city does have, a total of $12 million. That's the message that we want to make sure that people do understand. Even though we only have a $4 million budget for the city, we have grants totaling $12 million, which I think is extremely significant in saying the number of projects and things that we actually have going on that are distinct and separate from the $4 million that the city gets in tax revenue, and revenue from the wastewater treatment plant. So I just want to make that point. And then understanding that we do have about $4 million or so in loans currently. And then we're working on the, and we have actually approved the $5 million, because we need that funding to do the $36 million project in phases.
Next slide, please. So these are, I apologize, it's a little cut off there. These are the projects that we have applied for recently. Wastewater plant compliance is the one you all recently approved for $1.9 million. The reason that that's not broken down by grant versus loan is because we will not know until they award the funding what that split is.
And that's the SRF loan that we just did, right?
The SRF.
Yeah, every time you say that, kind of throws me off, but it's the SRF grant,
SRF.
loan, whatever it is that we're applying for,
Exactly.
that we just applied for through MDE to try and get some of the repairs that we need to the wastewater treatment plant. That's what the wastewater treatment plant compliance is. I see that column is cut off just a little bit based on how the screen is setting, but just want to make sure everybody understands that you're going to talk more about that on the approval request that we have, correct?
Yes.
That number is gonna change, provided we, go through.
The number wouldn't change.
Oh,
That
that's
would
the
be
SRF.
match. That
That's
would
the
be
SRF,
match.
but yeah, it's the other one, okay, all right.
I didn't put the one that I'm gonna talk about next because.
Oh, you didn't put it on the
because
applied
I know that
column?
We haven't applied.
Gotcha, okay, yep, I'm there.
Okay,
Yep,
so
I'm there.
wastewater treatment plant ENR refinement, that was the application to MDE Bay Restoration Fund of $275,000 to request engineering review of exactly what's needed for the wastewater treatment plant, which hopefully would lead to future funding through MDE.
So that's not an implementation grant, that's more like a planning kind of grant. That's what that
We
one
applied
is.
for both at the same time.
Okay,
Then the Northern Long Point Living Breakwater, we applied for 5.8 million, that does not have a match. And the Great Point Living Breakwater, we applied with NOAA for almost 6 million. So that's another total of 12 million in funding that we have applied for.
So we have 12 million in funding, worth of grants, and we've applied for 12 million more in funding grants. So,
Well, actually, I left that, because the 1.9 is all the way over there, we applied for 14 million.
so we
Yeah,
applied for
yeah.
14 million. And then when the 36 million comes back, we'll really be in a good shape. It's coming back, I know it is. Okay, fantastic, okay. So, council, this was a picture that we had not seen in this format before. But I thought it was important for you guys to understand what grants we have out there. You've seen it in various formats. Jen has briefed, different versions of this when she's briefed her projects. But I want you guys to be able to have a bird's eye view of what we have right now. So, you guys, and this will be used, this is something that we'll use, and she'll update it a little bit more. We'll be able to use it for a debt meeting that's gonna come up in the future. It'll be a good way of showing what we have and what we're owed. So you guys have questions? Questions?
Thank you.
Questions? Questions?
Just to understand a little better, so like you can't add loan, pending loan and the match and all that three together. Is it safe to add the loan part and the pending loan together? And say we have a 9 million, almost 10 million loans pending that, or the almost, city will owe almost 10 million, or city has to pay back 10 millions to get 12 millions in grants. Is that safe to say? I know those numbers
I
can change
understand.
depending on the match.
Yeah,
Right.
so, the reason that's, what you're saying is accurate, except that, that for that 5 million, we've only tapped 500,000. So it's anticipated that we would get tens of millions in match to that 5 million. Because we haven't yet.
We haven't touched it, but
We-
when
we-
we touch it, then it'll be, we probably.
If we had used the full 5 million,
Okay.
then
Then that would be
yes.
accurate.
Then that
Should be
would be
like, so
accurate.
if we
If we
use
had.
all 5 and put it in an interest account, then it'd be, so we will have a 5 million in loan plus the 4, so
Yes.
somewhere.
And
But
then
I
9 million,
anticipate by the
right.
time that happens, our grant column would look more like 40 million or something instead of 12 million.
Right.
But just in case it does not, then it's a 10 million loan, kind of.
But we wouldn't need to, if we don't have to tap it, then
Right.
we don't have
If
to.
the other part
take
doesn't
it.
go up, then that part doesn't go up, is
Yeah.
what we're saying.
But the 4 million still stays there, right?
4 million
The
is.
4 million stays there,
And
yes.
then
the 4
whatever
million
we
stays
use
there.
or whatever progress we make, it can add up to almost 10
Yes,
altogether.
but when that does, as she mentioned, the other
It
column
can-
has to add up as well, otherwise that one doesn't add.
And the fire department thing, the $1.3 million,
Mhm.
we will have to come up with 452,000 somehow,
correct.
some way to collect that and build a new fire department. Is that correct?
That's correct, but that grant is for the planning and basic infrastructure, so at that point, at
It's-
that
yeah, it's not
1.8
building.
million,
Right.
you wouldn't have a
Yeah,
fire
you can't build a
department.
fire department for 1.3 million, so what that is the planning. And yes,
So, but to even take that money, we
To
would
be
have
able
to
to
come
have-
up, to have that money, we will have to come up with almost $500,000.
we have to come up with $452,000.
452,000.
But not necessarily in cash. So I want to make sure that that's clear. That's why we said we had a meeting, because we're looking at creative ways to do that. Can we use the land as match? We have different things that we have that we're looking at to be able to use as match. And that's what we did. With the $36 million, we did, we had different projects that we were using for match. We didn't even necessarily expect that we would have to use the $5 million, because we had so many other projects that were acting as match. So we want to be clear that when we say match, we're not necessarily talking about a cash match. So that's not
Can be,
necessarily
yeah,
something we
that's
have to come up with. I just want to make sure that everybody does understand that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more? You good? Thank you. Councilman Langford?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, yeah, just wanted to make sure everybody had a clear picture of where we are, and that, yes, and as we're making the decisions, you guys can make informed decisions. Okay? Fantastic. And so next on our agenda was an approval. I sent you guys out a message about what we were trying to do here. And so Jen's gonna explain it a little better, about our wastewater treatment plant earmark that you guys approved the last time.
Sure, so last meeting, you approved an earmark for 1.9 million, and that was the funding needed to meet our basic requirements to get to compliance, so that we wouldn't be in good standing with MDE. Our total needs for the wastewater treatment plant are about 7.3 million. So I'm asking for your consideration, after research with both senators' offices and Moonshot, to consider applying for the earmark for the full wastewater treatment plant upgrade of 7.3 million, which would mean we were requesting 5.35 million through congressional funding. That would be through USDA Rural Development, which requires a 25% match. However, that 25% match would be the MDE application that we just put in.
So that's another example of realizing we have a match, but we don't have to,
We don't
yes.
have to prove all.
There you go. We don't have to come up with the cash for that match, because we already have a project that will match that project. So that's kind of how we try to make sure that we minimize what the city has to put out. But, Jen, one of the things with this, and the reason that she looked at this, was looking at what is a reasonable request. So we had been keeping that to about $2 million when we requested an earmark. But if you look at the earmarks that are awarded, lots of places, they're getting a lot more money than that. So it makes sense for us to ask for what our true need is. We were asking for the major things we needed to get us to compliance. But we know in order to maintain our wastewater treatment plant, there are a lot of things that need to be upgraded. And so in looking at those, Jason had done several iterations of what do we really need, along with Moonshot. And then the list of what we really need is $7.3 million. And so what we're requesting is that we ask for what we need, as opposed to just asking for the $2 million.
And we will,
Go ahead.
we will be asked to phase the project, in that we'll be asked to give alternatives if they don't fully fund it. But they have, this much has been funded to other communities. The source we were originally looking at was EPA, and that had the $2 million cap. I didn't know enough about it at the time I talked to you all to give you that information, but the EPA with the approximately $2 million cap would have been a 20% match. So
This
we're
one,
going after.
Right, and this one is USDA.
This one's USDA, it's potentially more competitive, but has a higher limit.
It's more competitive, it's USDA, and the chairman of this is
Congressman Andy Harris is the chair of the.
USDA committee that actually does this funding. And we've been working quite a bit with this office to understand what we can do and what makes sense. And they did not think this was an unreasonable request. So we went back to the folks that do the funding or that would be promoting this for us. And they did not think it was unreasonable for us to ask for this amount of money. You guys have questions? Question? Councilman Langford, question?
No question, let's get what we need.
So I need a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we apply for the 7.3 million. Do you want me to break it down in the motion how we apply, or no?
No, I think that's okay.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
Motion carried. Okay, thank you.
One thing
for-
after though, can council get like an itemized list of what would be replaced for that 7.3 million?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, you mean the list of what's happening? in West- Absolutely.
Yeah, for the
Absolutely.
7.3.
Absolutely. So everything is going in the grant, is what you're
Yes.
asking?
Yes.
Absolutely, yep. And the grant is due March the 4th, so Jennifer
They
is really.
changed the date yesterday.
Yeah, they moved it up to earlier, so Jen is gonna be buried in that for the next week or so, just so you guys are aware, but she will get you that information.
It doesn't have to happen before the grant, just
Yeah.
turn it in and give it to us.
Absolutely, you guys will see all the equipment and I think, Jason, in that was things for redundancy and spares, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Because that's a big issue, I'll let you guys know, whenever we have a problem at the wastewater treatment plant, we have to wait for some equipment to come in. And so that creates a delay in us being able to get back up and running properly. So being able to have spares on the shelf, being able to have redundancy in case one component goes down, we still have something that's working. So those are things that are gonna be built in to what we're trying to do now with these changes.
So is this what Casey was just asking, is this the scope of the work, what they're gonna be doing over there?
No, this is the emergency
I
where,
couldn't, yeah, I couldn't even, I
Okay.
can't even see without my glasses what you're looking at.
this is what we're gonna have to put the loan for, I think.
Yeah, that's a different one. I know that all the equipment is not listed in here yet, but we will get you guys a list of that. Okay, Mr. Lore, welcome back. I know you have several projects that we've missed you a couple of times. We've done our, department head reviews. So we appreciate you just bringing us up to speed on some of the major projects that you're working on for us.
Thank you, Mayor. The biggest project is the Cove Street Rubber Set construction, which I know has been kind of quiet lately. They completed all the piping work down the main highway. And there's been some delays on getting some equipment and structures, which I've been told are to be delivered in the next couple of weeks. So according to the conversation I had with the contractor this morning, they should be on site next week, mobilizing and doing some work up by the Rubber Set site. So they should be moving forward here very soon to get things knocked out. But they will be starting with Rubber Set first because of some of the additional piping work up there needs to be done, and then move it over to Cove Street.
Any timelines for us, Jason?
The current contract completion date is April.
Of what?
Of this year. And I have spoken to them, and they have stated they will be requesting some additional time. Verbally, I've been told 2 months due to the equipment or delay in getting the materials. Which honestly I don't have a big issue with, as long as they stay on site and keep working this time and don't demobilize and jump around on us. They just hit it hard and get it taken care of.
That's Rubber Set.
That's both projects.
They think they can have both projects done by the summer?
Yes, ma'am. That's what they're telling me right now, yes.
Both pumping stations up and running by the summer?
Based on the progress meeting we had a couple weeks ago, that's what they were talking about, yes.
That'd be phenomenal at
That
this
would be.
particular stage, so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna hold you to that.
Don't hold me to it, we'll hold them to it.
Well, and then I want you to hold them to it. We're gonna hold you to it, and we want you to hold them to it. Absolutely. I think that would be phenomenal if we can get both Rubber Set and Cove up.
Yes.
Tell me about Jersey Island.
Jersey Island, we're in the final design stages right now for submit for final permits this week and hopefully next week. As soon as permits are provided, which is basically just MDE and critical area, we'll be ready to go out to bid ASAP.
Okay. And because that's the third one and final one that would need
Third
to
and
be.
final one. When that's done, you will have three brand new pump stations within the city.
And that's at least a year or two away. The Jersey Island one would be, probably, if you're just going out to bid,
I would guess a year from now.
at least.
Yeah. It's not anywhere near as complicated as the other two. The other two are all brand new, completely brand new pump stations. Jersey is more of a rehabilitation. So it's not the deep structures that we're dealing with at the other two. It's more of a rehabilitation effort. So it should go quicker. But with funding, the approvals, Board of Public Works, all the other stuff that goes along with it, all the administrative stuff.
Yeah. that's
A
what
year
we-
from now, we'll probably be complete.
So that means two. So they said, take whatever they give you and double it.
That's
Yeah,
my
you know
cost
the
estimate.
rule.
That's my cost estimate.
That's the
too.
rule, absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
So those are the two big ones I'm working on right
Did we do I&I?
now. I&I, the phase two, as we're calling it, the project that Teal did. was
Yes,
we
Teal.
replaced it.
Mm-hmm.
The sewers are replaced, everything's done. They only need to come back in and do the final pavement, which is weather dependent once the asphalt plants open back up. So that's the last item that they need to do right now.
So they're done their work.
Yes,
They just have to repave the stuff they tore up.
basically, yes.
Yeah, I mean, they put down some stuff.
Yeah, they put down
that's
the
involved.
base pave so you can drive on it, but
Mhm.
it's not a permanent fix. It's called final pavement, so they take up the base pave and put in final pavement back.
Can they pave a whole road?
If you want to, they can.
Right. Actually, somebody needs to. Okay. So once they're done with the I&I, we were hoping to see, some improvements.
We need to see, I can tell you, based on the observations of them installing the pipe, especially down on the Tompkins,
Mhm.
the main sewer itself wasn't really in that bad a shape. It's the laterals. There's a lot of I coming from the private side.
Oh, wow.
There's a substantial amount coming from the private side.
So that's not gonna change with what we're doing.
As of now, probably not. We need to find some way to further investigate it, but the problem is it's private side. It's beyond the city's purview, I guess. It's on private property, it's the private service connection. It's on the other side of the line that marks the private and public portion.
So we're not gonna get as much bang for our buck as we had hoped. Is that kind of what I
Until we
hear?
talk over the numbers with DJ to see, I won't say we won't get some bang, but I don't know how much bang for the buck.
Mhm.
Go over the numbers pre and before. The replacement on Fourth Street was definitely needed. I guess I'm really referring more to down.
On Tompkin?
Yeah, because Fourth Street, there were some massive holes on that.
Okay.
pipe. To the point they got their camera stuck in it originally, and almost had to dig it up
Oh, wow.
immediately, so it was in pretty bad shape.
Okay. So we were replacing as many as we could. We had those ones that couldn't be replaced. That's kind of what we were doing here. Is that all of them now? No, we still have some
We still have
left.
some, top of my head, I believe Pine Street, and the big one was a 16-inch going right down Main Street that crosses 413. That's the very expensive, very deep.
Okay, so at some point I'll get numbers on that, so we know what else
That'll
we
be
have to
one where
do.
I tell you triple.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's 16-inch sewer that's 16 feet deep, so it's gonna be tough construction. There's other ways of correcting it, but because there are services connected to it, that makes it more difficult. So it's.
Someday I'd like to see an estimate.
We're gonna have to look into it, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, someday I'd like to see an estimate,
Okay.
just to know, because, I mean, they're holes and so, you know, we're taking in water that we shouldn't be taking in. So, yeah, definitely wanna know.
Like I said, a lot of us, at least in the one location, is on the private side, so it could be the same issue in some other places as well.
So
Okay.
that has to go back to 16 feet because it connects to it. Is that why?
Well, if you replace it in kind, yes, yeah, because gravity. It's gravity sewer, so you can't go any higher. You gotta go as deep. So that you can take advantage of Mother Nature and let gravity do its work.
Fantastic. I know you got a little low, so I'm not sure if everybody can hear you, but, you know, that was good information I needed to understand, and so the council want them to have a better picture. So you guys have any questions for Jason? Casey?
I did a
No. Councilman Langford?
Yeah, no questions.
Okay, well, yeah, just keep things moving, and I'm looking forward to Rubber Set and Cove Street pumping stations being up, by the end of the summer.
Me too.
All right, well, at least by June.
At least by June.
You got till June, get them up. Thank you so much, Jason.
I know DJ's not here, but I didn't know if you wanted me to give a quick update on Coach.
Would you?
I know
Yeah,
enough to be dangerous.
yeah, help us out here, because I do need to know.
Bottom line, what it sounds like is there was an unknown pipe that does not show up on any plans that we can find that was connected to the force main, the discharge pipe. And on this pipe, there is a valve. And from what was described to me, when CES was in there cleaning it up, the valve was attached to the bottom of the floor, so you can't see it
Okay,
from up top. You'd have to stick your head and, look
and look up,
sideways,
okay,
under the floor. And what it appears is that valve had literally fell off the ceiling, came off the ceiling. And by doing so, it sheared off a pipe that it was connected to, that was connected to the force main, which is the discharge pipe from the pump station. So every time the pump would kick on, it would just more or less recycle the wastewater. So it wasn't leaving, it was just recycling. Again, looking through all the plans that we had, which aren't a whole lot, that station's been installed and upgraded once, there's no record of this pipe on anything. So we're really not sure where it was, what it was for, have no idea. But basically, they excavated down, found it, capped it, so that the pump station could start operating again.
wow. Now, will that be corrected at the end, in June?
Yep, in June, that will be gone.
Okay, that's what I need to hear.
By June,
Okay.
the pump station you see there today will not be there.
And so, what's all that stuff that's over there now? Have you seen it? I mean, I saw all these pipes and stuff. Yeah, that's
It's
why I need
probably,
DJ to tell me what's going on.
I know that the Godwin pump, the city's backup pump is over at the wastewater plant right now, so it could just be some
Flat tubing out over there. I should have.
spare hoses that go with the bypass pump.
Okay, doors open, so I guess, yeah, we're gonna figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
But thank you for that update. We are back up and running, and that is the biggest issue, and I have not heard any complaints. I did hear some immediately after, which I'm not sure how those were related, but,
Yeah, I mean,
I
basically,
haven't-
the wastewater wasn't really going where it needed to go, it's just, again, just recycling.
okay.
So I wasn't really getting rid of much of it, so it wouldn't surprise me if there's some partial backups in the system or something.
Yeah, I heard that kind of thing, so, yeah, thank you. Questions for Jason? Questions, Councilman Langford at all?
Yeah, no
Okay,
questions, no
all right. Thank you so much, Jason. Appreciate you being here. And thank you. So what we didn't mention is that today, the energy assessment guys, Optimize Renewable came down, and they did tour the wastewater treatment plant too. And Jason did help us out with that, so that they can look at how can we do something with energy in our different buildings, including wastewater treatment plant, fire department, thank you, and public works and the police station, they viewed those as well. And they are good, and the armory, correct? Those are the 5, I think, or somewhere in there. Okay, thank you. All right, so now talking about what we have to do, all of this is about wastewater treatment plant and infrastructure. So we talked about the fact that we are gonna go for the maximum earmark to be able to do the upgrades that we need, but we have problems right now. So Joyce, you wanna talk about what we need to do for our emergency funding?
I will. So we were gonna revisit, from our last meeting, we talked about utilizing the line of credit and borrowing the $100,000. Instead, we were fearful of utilizing all of that, knowing condition of everything else over there. So, we've reached out and we're looking for permission for the mayor and myself to seek loan funds of not to exceed $150,000 that will replace the filter media and the D-night banks at the wastewater. It will be a tax-free loan, quarterly interest, principal payments. The interest rate will be set, as close to the prime as it can be as soon as we notify them and do the proper paperwork, resolutions, etc. So I have an estimated rate, but we won't go there yet. The scope of work is listed on the screen and in your paperwork. The only thing that Jason brought to my attention that is not included in this, and DJ did not, he was not here today, is the sand to replace.
The media itself, yes.
And what does that normally run, Jason?
I know DJ had gotten a quote, and I have to go back and look and see what it is. For some reason, 30,000 is sticking in my head, but please don't quote me on that.
No, that's significant. We
So,
need to
yeah, so
know. Yeah.
we could, when we come back to you with the resolution, we may need to add that, because, I mean, that's just well above. I left a little window on the estimate that we had received,
Okay,
you know, on the actual work, but then this cost of the sand throws it, so we may need to request 180.
as opposed to 150.
Right.
And so this is the, if you guys recall, we have to be in compliance. This is one of the things, Jason, that you thought would be a significant help to us, is to get this done. We're looking at what are the major things that we need to do. 150,000 we know was for this, and then another 150,000 was for cleaning the tanks, which we know.
This is a phrase that they both need to get done, both
Right.
hands and butts about it, but this is the easier, low-hanging fruit to knock out, and I think would have the most bang for your buck right now.
And the other one is the one we put in the grant. It's gonna be in the grant. The cleaning of the tanks will be in the grant. But this one, we can't wait. We cannot wait, for a grant or something to give us some relief in the numbers that we have over there.
And we're trying to borrow slowly in the event that all of the applications and all the fundings come in. Once you spend it, then you can't use it for any of the grants. So we're trying to take it in pieces and do one step at a time until we know the timing of all that Jen and the mayor have, you know, applied for. We've set up a meeting for the mayor and myself to meet with the auditor to go over the debt, policy, to talk about the limitations and that type of thing. We tentatively have that scheduled for the 4th at 10 a.m. The reason we're trying to put this all on the table is the one bank loan committee meets every 2 weeks. So if we don't get approval to seek the funds tonight, then we would be 2 more weeks behind the bank, and that would be another month. And then one other point that we wanted to bring up, in lieu of the sand filter working properly, the city's using additional chemicals to do the process in place of what that sand filter does. And every order DJ does, that's about $3,400 of that chemical when he orders that. So we kinda need to move this along, because of the urgency, but the reason we're doing one phase is so that if a grant comes available, we haven't borrowed the money and can't repay it, out of that grant fund. So, I need advice on if we wanna add that 30,000 of the actual sand to it, because we cannot continue to general fund this, you know what I mean, pay out. So if we're going forward to get the sand filter back up and running, we need to include that 30, in my opinion.
Right, and if we don't need it, then we won't put it in, but I think we're gonna have to find out from DJ tomorrow, and that, as of right now, and as opposed to that being 150,000, what we're asking is for council to approve 180,000, for us to be able to get this, sand filter, repaired, replaced, pretty much. Repaired and replaced, because the process is not working today. It's affecting our ability to stay in compliance with the numbers that we need to get. And so, MDE had also said that this was one of the things that they highly suggested we do, and we can't wait for a grant to be able to do it.
Right, and one other thing, the attorney and Jason, we talked about sole sourcing this, because we all know we have sought these, estimates. And, both are in agreement that it can be sole sourced, because of the nature of the emergency and the type of work that's being done. Andrew, reviewed that with me today, and Jason, gave his input that, it would just be their normal crew, whereas the group that we reached out to, they have a specific group that does this work all the time.
Okay.
So it would go much faster.
And because we gotta get it done as quick as possible, to be able to get in a much better place. Okay, so council questions at this point?
You think is it safe to up that 180 a little bit just in case the sand amount is more than 30,000, Jason?
Jason's looking through his email.
I'm trying to find my
today.
emails, I'm not having any.
Because then if it is more, then we gotta come back and do the same thing.
Right, I'll
If
have
we
to
don't
bring-
use it, then
I will have to bring a borrowing resolution to you all as a group, even if we do a special Zoom meeting, so give us a day to get that figure, DJ was out, and firm that figure up, because like you said, we don't wanna shoot under, what we need.
Okay, having said that, do we have to approve it tonight then, or can we do it when we do the resolution?
If you just give us the authority, if they give us the authority to seek the loan, then we can make the application with the loan committees at the bank, and then for them to finish the process at the bank, they will require the resolution before we sign the loan papers.
So is it okay if we have to change that number once we make this application to the bank?
I would not tell them the amount until tomorrow anyway.
Okay, so this is just making the application?
Yes, this is so that the council authorizes you and I to, sign the application to go to the loan committee.
Okay, so, but it doesn't have an amount
It did
until,
not yet, we'll give it till tomorrow.
until the resolution is put forward?
Yeah.
And then we'll know the exact amount? Okay, so are you guys okay with that?
So can we
Understanding that?
make a motion with that amount, or do we need the amount in the motion?
It's for the application, the 11th's the next council meeting, so depending on the timing, it's possible the approval, depending on what the bank says on the 11th, you may be voting that night, or otherwise the 25th of March, if there's not a special meeting.
Right.
So this is just, as Joyce said, to make the application for the loan,
Okay, all
based
right, I
on
just wanna make
DJ's
sure.
recommendation.
Okay, so. Go ahead.
You ready for the motion?
Oh, okay, no, I didn't know if you had a question,
No.
yeah, just make sure
I
nobody,
was just trying to
whatever
think.
questions.
Well, I was just trying to think.
This motion does not bind the city to anything,
Okay,
it's just to make the application. The bank may come back with terms that,
We
will
say
come
no
back
to
with
it.
terms that the city as a whole will need to formally vote on
Okay,
at some future date, either a regular council meeting or a special meeting, depending on
the timing.
the timing.
Okay. Okay, did you have any other questions at the table? No questions at the table? Did you have any questions, Councilman Langford?
No, so we're gonna amend that to 180, is that correct?
Potentially.
Tonight, we're just going to vote to make the application to the bank. And then we'll come back to you guys with the actual number. And then you'll approve the number.
Okay.
Okay?
Should the,
Go ahead, somebody.
okay, the question I have is, should the, motion include that or just the motion to approve?
Make the application.
Make the application,
Mhm.
okay.
Can I get a motion?
Motion to give the mayor and the treasurer permission to apply for the emergency funding loan application request.
Second.
Okay.
Great, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright,
I know that was so.
Motion carried.
Can everybody hear me?
I think we got it. Thank
Okay.
you very much, but yes, okay, thank you guys. I apologize, it's been a long couple of days. Yes, absolutely, so yes, thank you very much. Okay, Public Works update, Mr. Fowler, what we got going on?
Well, first, since you brought the speed humps in, I'll address those.
Please.
When I put in the PO for the speed humps, we're gonna try two to make sure that they're, like, I never buy anything in a whole big package, because we wanna make sure
They work.
it works, and we don't waste money. When I put in that order, when they gave me the amount was more than double because of
estimate?
shipping. Yes, the speed humps themselves were like $560, and it added $961 for shipping. So what I'm trying to do is work through a vendor in Pocomo that does get orders from this place, and they would lump it into their order, and then I'd drive past it every day, I would try to pick it up on my way. So that's the delay in the speed hump. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna pay $1,000 in shipping for two speed humps that cost $560.
Okay, and where are they gonna go?
A Northeastern Supply in Pocomoke is who I'm trying to work with to get it to go delivered there, and then we would pick it up there.
Thank you, that was a good question, though.
Where they,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Placing it on the speed hump.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you had what business?
It's okay, it's
Yeah,
all
we're
right.
gonna do it down-
Well, we just gave them a promotion, but it's okay.
Yeah, the chief and I, we worked it out, we're gonna try down by the high school first on Somerset, one at the bottom, middle one on the top.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to remind council where they were going, kinda, cause
Yeah,
we
yeah,
haven't
my
talked
apologies.
about it for a while, and I definitely wanted to make sure that we had that.
Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood.
But you are right, Ms. Blanco, we do have, like Indy 500 going on around here in quite a few places, as a matter of fact, so, on my street, no question. Okay,
Alright, so on to the blizzard, that really wasn't a snow event here, as much as it was a wind and power outage event. To be honest, the chief should really tell you, because he was the one that spent the time here, trucking people around, but we would like to shout out to Delmarva Power, because Delmarva Power, I know people weren't as excited about their timeline, but they do have a lot going on, so we should be, eternally grateful for how hard they did for this thing.
Yep.
But we did have Mr. Schultz, I had him do 4 streets in the middle of the night, just to make sure we did Chesapeake, Main, 4th, and Somerset, just to make sure the main arteries were open during the storm. So he did those 4 roads, and the rest it just never really happened here like it did other places.
thank God, I mean.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Well, yes and no. In all honesty, I think I'd rather have the snow than the lights out.
For sure.
Yeah, I would rather have the snow than the lights out, but I don't want both.
But at least
So
people
thank
go
God we
one place.
didn't have, thank God we didn't have both the snow and the lights out, because that would have been, an even harder thing to navigate.
Exactly.
So, thank you, and thanks to everybody for what they did. Did you guys have any questions?
Thanks, Brian.
Eventually, we will have our own equipment. We have an
We'll put it
estimate,
in,
I
yeah,
think. We're gonna put in the budget.
I'll have to
for
get
next year.
that revised closer to when we're actually putting the number in,
It'll be a
so that
little
it's
different.
accurate, but yeah. We'll have everything for next year ready to roll.
Well, no, we appreciate everybody's support for that. It was huge. I definitely want to, thank the chief, the police did transports, they transported people around. The next day, they went out, they did wellness checks, so I know you guys went all through the housing authority, making sure, especially the disabled and the elderly, I need to give a big shout out to Raymond Anderson and David Richardson, because what they did was they went around the entire housing authority and they were able to pinpoint what was causing the east side and the old folks to be out. So they found the exact pole, they found the breaker that had popped, and they were able to know exactly where the problem was. So that when we were talking to Delmarva Power and he was giving me all the things that they were having to deal with, I was able to say, yes, but in reality, we've got a very vulnerable population here, and we know that this is a 15-minute fix. If you can just send somebody down here, you can turn the lights back on for hundreds of people. So without them having done that, we would not have been able to advocate for that. Because when they came down, they didn't really want to do anything else, but they were willing to do that. What they told me is they had 22,000 people out. So getting someone here, we thank God, as hard as it was, and we know how difficult it was for our tenants, we continue to advocate for them to get somebody here. And it was very difficult, but they did come Monday night, and most of them got back on. Weren't able to get the west side on until yesterday. And that was definitely a trial as well. But I'm grateful to the citizens who went out, after the storm and was able to pinpoint that. But then I can tell you, my hero at Delmarva Power is named James Jones. I'm telling you, oh my God, he has been fantastic. And he had to advocate up for us. But after we continued to talk, he understood the needs, he advocated up for us so that someone would come down. And then the next day when they left, after they fixed Richardson Avenue, he advocated for them to come back last night to get West Side up and running. And then they got Maple Street. They got Maple Street up at the same time. I was trying to get our guys to go over there. And then he called me. He said, the guy, not James, but his other field officer, Joe, shout out to him too. He called and he said, we've got you straight on Maple Street. I said, what are you talking about? Your guys are here. He was like, no, they're up and running. I said, oh, really? He said, yeah, it was a squirrel that knocked them out. So anybody eating fried squirrel? I can imagine what happened to the squirrel. But anyway, I just want to give a shout out to all of those folks. And then there was a guy who came. I know one of them, at least one of them was named Caleb Willing. He was fantastic too. He was here last night, and he was the one who was able to, there was the technician that came out and fixed East Side, went over to West Side. He located the problem over there, and then he showed us that it was actually a fuse that had blown. And so he strapped the fuse, and so they were able to go directly there and fix it. And I say all of that to say that it took all of that to be able to get Crisfield back up and running, because I know there are places that are still not up yet. So I'm thankful and grateful to everybody who put in all that work. Ms. Kashia, who wasn't down here, was on the phone constantly. So there was a lot of work that went into all of that. And I just want to make sure that everybody understands that. One of the things we are going to do is I've talked to the director, Ms. Kashia, and we're going to have a debriefing where we look at what went well and what things we need to fix for the future. And one of that meeting is going to include the tenants. So we have a better way to communicate with them when we have these kinds of issues, because many of them weren't aware of exactly what was going on, and they were literally in the dark. We don't want that. So I just want to thank everybody for all of their hard work, and make sure you let your team know, those who I know, whoever was on call was out there as well. So thank you guys.
Yeah, and I know that you left yourself off the list. You should get a shout out.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because every time I was going someplace to track down a crew, I passed you and you were waving your hand out the window telling me to slow myself down and talk
Chasing
to
down on the truck.
Yeah, and I said, hey, they're eating lunch, I'll be back. So make sure everyone knows that you were out there doing just as much as anybody.
And every time I would do this,
You passed us one time, we had a whole roadblock.
every time I would do this, dang, and I knew it was Mayor Taylor or Joyce. It was nonstop.
So shout outs to you yourself.
Well, thank you for that.
Brian's absolutely right for that. Look,
Yeah.
the mayor, I think, probably either would have pulled her hair out or she had strangled me when I called her. This was right after they had just fixed Richardson Avenue.
Oh my God.
I called her and said, hey, I just got a phone call from someone on Maple Street. Their power is out.
I was
And I'm telling you,
devastated.
the mayor was so upset trying to figure out where this house was and how many people were affected by it. Thank God and thank the mayor for getting on Delmarva Power. They got them fixed that night, because if not, You know, Deal Island stayed out of power for 3 days.
I heard,
It's just,
yeah,
you know, it was
yeah,
a long time.
yeah. It was a struggle.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Mayor.
some of them are not, and I've heard some of the schools and different facilities are not back, and that's why they're still on virtual
Marion
learning.
popped back.
Back on.
Oh, good, virtual learning. So guys, thank you so very much. The only thing it cost me, in all honesty, was a tire. And that's from Carson City, because I'm an official business. I busted my tire chasing the Delmarva truck.
I heard you were chasing.
So the reality of this, kind of sort
I
of.
wasn't gonna share that part of the story, but.
Kind of sort of. So anyway, thank you guys for everything. It is, we can smile about it, but those tenants, for me, it was not acceptable that they were without lights. I just can't even imagine being in that situation. So for me, it was nothing to make sure I did the most I could do to try to get them back on. And I left out a gentleman named Deval Jackson, who I know opened his house and tried to help different neighbors and all of that. So I want to thank Deval too for all that he did. I know there were many citizens trying to help, going door to door. So this is who Chrisville is. This is who we are. This is what we do. So thank you guys for coming together. And so I'll have short mayor comments tonight. Thank you guys so much. At this point, we have public input. I see my friend Dave is visiting us again today. It's always wonderful to see you, Dave. I don't know if you have any input. I don't see any other. You're welcome. Yes, come back up, Ms. Langle.
Can I just ask something?
Sure.
They're working on sewer lines and stuff, and we were told a story years ago that down at the end of Myrtle, or right in the middle between Columbia and Myrtle, there's some floppers in there that they put in, and they were put in wrong, or some muskrats or something ate them. They're supposed to, I don't know, this is the story. Anyway, it deters the water. Is that
And it
true?
what said what?
The water from the sewer goes down in there and it's supposed to bring it back out. I don't know anything about it. That's the story we've heard for 12 years. So there's funding there years ago or something for it. I have no clue.
Columbia and Myrtle, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're Myrtle, Myrtle goes all the way down to Smith Island, but Columbia comes this way, and there's supposed to be something in there for the water, the sewer to go through.
Are we talking sewer or stormwater?
I don't know what it is. They said there were some flappers they put in, and somebody embezzled money or something.
Well, I wasn't here then. I just want to make it
Nothing to do with you.
She wasn't.
Here then.
No, has nothing to do with you or us. It's just stories. But is that really there?
Welcome to Christmas.
Well, yeah, and I do apologize, Ms. Langle, because it is public input, we're not able to really respond. We can't, we try to do the best we can, but we're not able to really respond. But what I will do is just have somebody reach out to you, and you can relay that conversation, and we'll just try to ferret out if there's anything to it.
Yes,
Because I don't
thank
know.
you.
Yeah,
We're just wondering,
yeah.
is it true? Is there something that pumps the water out there or not?
I haven't heard that story, but we will have somebody contact you that might have some idea. We don't know, you don't know if it's sewer, you don't know if it's
We don't know, we
water.
just wanna know.
We'll ask we'll see what we can find out. And thank you for asking the question. Absolutely. So, any more public input? If not, our youth council,
School's out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's no school. I don't even know what I'm thinking. Absolutely. So then we're gonna keep going. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I am really exhausted, so I'm looking for a short meeting tonight. I'm serious. Councilman Goldsboro, what you got for us?
Just short, just gonna review the Blizzard. Chief, thank you so much. I had to call you to look into one of my family's shut-ins and
Oh, wow.
check on her. She
Okay.
lost cell service, we weren't able to get hold of her, but the chief's officers were able to get in contact with her, so that was great. I appreciate all you did, all Public Works, everybody, Joyce keeping us informed, the mayor keeping us informed, chasing down trucks. It was great. I'm glad all of our citizens got power back in a timely manner compared to everybody else. It would be nice to have them faster, it would. But other than that, that's it.
Thank you. Vice Counsel, what you got?
Yeah, just a brief update on the design phase for the Chrisville City Dock. I did hear back from our representative. Contractor, because the design company, Design Collective, who was out of the area country on business for the company, and they got a new team of individuals who's working on some new designs for us to take a look at.
Great, that's good news. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so they apologized, but that's where we are, so should hear something another week.
Look forward, thank you. Okay, Councilwoman Johnson?
Brief again.
And thank the staff, workers for what you do. Department heads, thank you. Chief, thank you.
Councilwoman?
Kudos again to our staff. The chief, I asked you tonight, had you gotten any sleep? I know the mayor hadn't gotten much, I mean, and to everybody, all the texts, the calls. Thank you for checking on my stepfather, I appreciate it, because I was stuck at work, and for those people that didn't have power, I did at my house, but where I was, I did not. When the power went out, we were stuck. I actually watched the transformer on fire and was getting ready to call 911 when I heard the fire whistle. And I'd never seen it. When it blew up, the sky lit up like daylight. We were standing to the door, we closed the door, and I almost knocked each other down. So I can identify with those people that were in the cold, because I was in the cold all night long, because we couldn't get out. And it's not a good feeling to be sleeping in the cold. So I can identify with those people for one night that didn't have cold. The next morning, they were able to get us out and move us. So I can imagine the feeling, and you know, it's just a lot.
It's horrible.
And the other thing is, if you saw me with my phone, because I do work in Marion, Marion's power has been restored. So I'm glad of that, because I have family, grandchildren all in Marion. My clients are in Marion, so Marion is restored for anybody that's listening Facebook Live. But it's one of those things that, it's like, I asked somebody tonight, have we ever that happened before? And you said Superstorm Sandy. But seems like I don't remember this many people being without power like it is
We
this
had a
time.
snowstorm when we had a blackout that we had, the mayor had to authorize the town to be shut down.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I must be brave, I don't remember, but anyhow, I just feel bad for all those people, and because I spent a night in the cold, I can only imagine what some of you have gone through. My prayers for everybody that we get back to where we should be, and prayers for those people in Deal Island that are still experiencing outages.
Absolutely.
I know some power has been restored, you know, but for those that don't have power, I didn't realize that the power had affected Baltimore, Wilmington, and all those places that one of my friends from Philly called.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why, you know, Delmarva Power and Chop Tank and all those places were working overtime. I had no idea, so.
Yeah, they had contractors that came from Indiana and Georgia, so I do know at least those two places, so they were really smart.
You know, everybody was saying, well, why can't they take care of us? Because they were all over. And
Smart.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Smart.
So prayers for everybody, and I hope everybody stays warm.
Thank you. Sure. Okay, Councilman
Yep.
Patel.
I wanna thank you and Chief, because I think you two probably stayed up 40 hours or more.
No, I slept. Chief didn't.
But it's one of those unfortunate things, and everybody tried their best, and it worked out. Another thing was, I was at the Taste of Eastern Shore, and Mary Beth Caruso's office heard of the 150 thing. And so she had discussion with Andy Harris' office, so they said reach out to them.
I'm sorry, for the what?
The 150,000.
Oh, they heard about our need for
Yes,
the,
so she said nobody has reached out to me or Andy. Can somebody reach out to us? I cannot promise you we can do something, but we can look at the option. So if you can have-
absolutely.
If you can have somebody
Yeah.
reach out to her and Andy Harris's office. And they said, they said it themselves, like,
Okay, yeah, sounds
nobody
good.
reach out to us and see what we can do. So it
I know,
might
I
be,
know. Absolutely, yes, thank you.
and just on, that's it for.
That's good, no, thank you, yeah, absolutely. Okay, Councilman Langford.
Yeah, I'm gonna be short. Just want to thank the chief, the fire department, for everything they did, all our staff for everything they did during the blizzard to make sure that everyone in Chrisville was safe. I like to give a shout out to the Church of God for opening up their doors to those that didn't have heat. I thought that was great. The Somerset County EMS system is working fine. The people in Chrisfield and in Somerset County all came together, and that's what we do. We come together when things are bad to make the situation better. And I'm just so proud of everybody in Chrisfield, especially our staff, especially our mayor, who make sure that we are safe and we get things done as soon as possible. So thank you all again for everything that you did. I just want to, on Saturday, I had the opportunity to go to a soft launch of the African American Museum. I thought it was a great event. And I'm looking forward to, once we find the location for that, to have that out so that everybody in Chrisfield can learn the history of the African Americans within in the city of Chrisfield and Somerset County. So I'm looking forward to that, and I just thank everybody for coming.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Councilman.
Yeah, before you go, let me just say, this is torture right here, Ms. Allen. This is torture.
Okay, well, y'all eat cookies and I'll be brief. I think we've covered most everything, but as Councilman Langford was talking, I want to make sure I'm not remiss. Somerset County EMS, Yvette Cross, called me constantly, so she was making sure that we knew what was available in terms of the shelter. So, I mean, they did a fantastic job as well. I don't want to leave out anybody. I really appreciate Yvette's constant support. She'll text me, she'll call me, whatever the case may be. The fire department opened their doors, so definitely I want to thank them too. I want to thank the governor's office, because they, several times, they text me, wanted to make sure if we needed anything, as well as Senator Alsabrook's office, Kim Cradleville. She also reached out to me as well. So I want to make sure that you guys do understand that at all levels, we were getting support. People were concerned about how we were faring out. I definitely don't want to forget to acknowledge that support, because it means a lot to us. I just want to let everybody know that we did receive that $1,000 250 anniversary grant. So we're going to be holding what we call Citizens Academies. So that's what we put it in for. So we'll talk to you more about it. It's basically where we're going to invite citizens in, and we're going to talk to them about the different positions. The department heads will go over kind of what they do. They don't know this yet. They're learning this tonight. So we'll have like 4 different sessions where each department head will talk about what they do, and the community will come in and get an opportunity to ask questions. But this is a huge thing across Maryland. We got one. I know Princess Anne got one. Let's see. There's several other municipalities. We all put it in at the same time, and we're going to collaborate together to get it done. I also want to mention that I left my paper, but Milner, what's her, Val, you know his name? Milner.
Len.
Who's the
Garden.
The Garden.
Oh,
You know the name?
I know, John. Last name is Milne, M-I-L-N-E.
Milne. Okay, so I know Mr. Milne is interested in starting the garden again. So we may look at, we got to clean it up. Right now, it's not in any good shape. But he has a group of people, I think, that may be interested in continuing to do something with the garden. But we do first have to clean up what's out there, because it's not in good shape right now. Councilman mentioned about the African American Museum of Chrisfield, the soft launch that happened. They're also doing a cookbook, so they're asking anyone with recipes that they can put in the cookbook for that. And then I want to also acknowledge that the village did the soul food sampling again, and our funding came from, I do know, the Chrisfield Arts and Entertainment District. So I know that some of them were there. And I think the Community Foundation as well also supported again. So I want to make sure that those acknowledgments get out there as well. That event was extremely well attended. And then I think Dr. Clara Smalls from Salisbury University, she gave a presentation. And so it was a very, very well attended event, and I think it went over well. What else do I have? I think actually that's all I have, guys. I appreciate everybody. At the end of the day, I can say it does take a village, and the village pulled together, and I am so grateful for that. So thank you guys for everything.
The Lord bless
I'm
these
ready.
cookies for what's getting ready tonight.
You don't get any cookies in it.
I think I forgot, Brian, because I knew you were it all night long. I said staff, but I knew you were it all night long too.
Were you out all night long?
I
I was up all night long.
He was up all night long.
I said the chief and the mayor. But I
Every
thought
time you close your
somebody-
eyes, text message go off.
Well, yeah,
I was
see,
up.
I was up all
But
night
I
long.
wasn't here.
freezing.
Nah.
Okay,
about
then.
that. I got a
I
wife
knew
I
the
gotta take
chief
care
and the mayor was, but I thought somebody said Brian was, so, okay, but anyhow, we were all up all night long.
Yes, you were.
But anyhow, with that being said, did you bless the cookies?
Bless them.
Okay then. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. God bless.